Hey guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting because, as most of you know, whenever I hit a major landmark on my channel, I do a video where I give back the love to you and I draw some of you guys. And since recently we hit 400,000 subscribers, which I still can't believe. Thank you so much for that. Of course, I had to bring it back, keep the tradition alive, and do another one. So I reached out to you on Instagram for you guys to submit your pictures with the hashtag DrawMeAmanda4. I can't believe we have already done 4 of these. I feel like they're getting closer and closer together, so it's been hard for me to keep up with them. But that's just all because of the crazy amount of support you guys have been showing me, and I know I say the same thing every time I do one of these, but that's just because it really can't be understated how much I appreciate all of the support from you guys. You guys allow me to do what I love for a living and allow me to share my art with you. So again, that's why I do these videos, just because it's like my personal way to give back to all of you guys. So thank you guys again for 400k, but I'm gonna stop talking now because you probably want to get to the drawings, so I'm gonna hand you guys off to the voiceover. Alright, so as usual, I'm using my Pentel mechanical pencil with 0.3 lead. A lot of you guys ask me why I use 0.3, and it's just because I really like getting all of the details. I find this thin pencil makes drawing eyes and nose and all of the facial features really easy to do because you can really get precise with it. So I would recommend trying out a mechanical pencil. I also just prefer using mechanical pencils because then I don't need to sharpen it because I'm so lazy and I suck at sharpening pencils. Who else always breaks their pencil leads when they sharpen a pencil regularly? Because I always do. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. But anyways, that was a long-winded way of saying that I prefer mechanical pencils. I do actually want to try doing more inking and more stylistic drawings, so I'm thinking that next time for 500,000, the next time I draw you guys, I'm going to try out a different style and do kind of a stylized, not as realistic style. I mean, not that my drawings are super realistic right now, but I think I've gotten the hang of this style and it's time to switch things up, so I want to do something a little bit more illustrative, maybe more cartoony. It's something that I really love doing, so we'll try that out next time. The good thing is that since I've done so many standard realistic portraits, I feel like I've gotten the hang of them, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to change things up and do more stylized portraits. I always say this, but it's good to start off with the basics, whether that is like a realistic portrait or basic painting techniques, and then you can kind of experiment from there. But of course, that's just what works for me personally. I'm sure there's a ton of people out there who can draw in multiple styles at the same time, or kind of switch in and out, or even go from cartoon to realistic. It just depends on what you do. So moving along to more of your questions, I'm just answering some of the most asked questions on my Instagram, which is at AmandaRachLee, by the way. But one of the questions that I get a lot is whether I'm studying art in school or whether I am going to an art school, that kind of thing. I did go to an art school in high school, but I am not currently studying art in post-secondary education. But with that being said, I am doing something that is creative. I feel like creativity can just be applied to so many jobs nowadays, and it's really celebrated, which is awesome. I feel like back in the day, people would, you know, kind of dismiss the arts or creativity in general, and, you know, even growing up, I would always feel that pressure to go into the sciences, the maths, all of that kind of stuff. And I feel like now we're realizing that creativity and the arts is something to be celebrated and is definitely an important part of our society, which is awesome, because just as a child, it would have been cool to have more encouragement of that growing up, instead of, you know, feeling like it always had to just be a hobby. The next question is, what is something that is hard for you to draw and that you want to work on? And there's so much that I can improve on. I definitely feel like faces are the thing that I am the best at or the most fluent in, just because I've done it so often. but what I want to improve on is drawing bodies and figures. I've always said this, it's such a hard thing to do, and I feel like the only way to get better at it is to draw them in real life or to do a lot of figure studies, which is just something that I'm too lazy to do. But I don't know, my bodies always end up looking weird whenever I draw them, and it's so hard to get the proportions right, so I definitely need to work on that more, just because then I could, you know, draw some full body drawings if I wanted to. The last question for today is, who is your biggest inspiration for art? And this is an interesting question that people always ask me, and it sucks because I don't really have an answer to it. My answer is always that I find inspiration from everywhere, and I think that is like everyone now, especially nowadays when you're consuming so much content on Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube and all of that. It's so hard for you not to get inspired from those things, and I think it's almost necessary that you constantly consume content or look at other people's art or see different movies and creative things and that type of stuff, just because it'll expand your artistic knowledge and your creativity and your viewpoint on things. Imagine if you just always look at the same thing. That's not really a fun time, and there's no way that you'll be able to come up with new and innovative ideas. So I would definitely say that my inspiration is just everyone else who is doing cool stuff. It doesn't even have to just be visual artists, it can be, you know, filmmakers, it can be graphic designers. It is just so inspiring to see all of this content on the internet that we can kind of create our own vision board of what is inspiring to us at that moment in time. I feel like this video was comprised of a lot of rants for me. I'm just in a very, you know, existential mood. Anyways, we made it to the last portrait. I feel like I've definitely improved in drawing faces, even if you just go back and watch the first video that I did drawing my subscribers, you can see the difference. I'm a lot looser and quicker to drawing these. Each one kind of took about 10 minutes, which is kind of standard for a portrait like this. I'm not really focused on shading, just the spacing, which is something that I wanted to bring up. A lot of you guys ask me how I make sure that the portraits look like the people or how to improve on drawing faces, and you have to focus on the spacing in between the features, which is so important. But anyways, these are the finished portraits. I hope you guys like them. Alright guys, so that was it for this video. Sorry I couldn't draw more of you, but my hand was cramping by the end of this. So I drew as many as possible. As usual, I will continue to do these every time I hit a landmark. So the next one is a big one, 500K. I can't believe this. Like, even just saying that aloud is really crazy. Like 500,000, what? But anyways, I'll keep the tradition alive. Yeah, if you want to see more of my drawings, you can check me out on Instagram at AmandaRachDoodles. I post a bunch of different bullet journal pictures and sketches and all of that type of stuff over in there. But I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone.